Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. We're doing a nice full body flexibility practice today. I'm not going to use any props myself. Find a little bit of space to move though, and let's get started. So I was thinking today we could start on our tummies. So laying down. And you can just stack your palms, rest your forehead or your chin on top. And then you might kind of snug your legs a little closer together. Maybe your big toes can touch. You can let your heels kind of fall out to the sides a little bit. You might take a gentle sway through the hips, side to side. Feel your belly, your chest pressing into the ground. Softening through your shoulders. And then we're just gonna move our left arm out to the side a little bit. You might make a nice cactus arm, elbow in line with the shoulder, palm facing down the top corner of your mat. And then we're gonna think about the hips, the legs. I want you to start to roll onto your left side a little bit, but see if you can take your right leg and bring it behind the left one, or maybe it ends up on top of it. Maybe it's just your foot that ends up behind it, but just try to rotate your hips a little bit more. Of course, you're gonna start to feel your arm, your shoulder, your chest. If you've kind of scissored your legs here, you're just going to slowly bring them back and then gently turn onto your belly again, and then bring your right arm out, your cactus arm, palm facing down. And then as you start to roll onto your right side a little bit, you might move that left leg a little more. Try to get it on top of your left or your right leg, and then maybe behind the right leg too. Little twist to the spine, a really deep shoulder and chest opener. And then slowly starting to bring your legs back over, and eventually your belly and your chest. And then just bring your hands under your forehead or your chin again, and your big toes might find one another, letting your heels fall out to the sides, and just relax. Maybe a little sway side to side. We're going to be bringing our arms or our hands under our shoulders, pushing yourself up onto your knees into tabletop. We're going to be sliding our right leg forwards, laying down the shin, setting up for pigeon. If you'd rather turn onto your back or stay seated, you can do figure 4. If you don't know what that means, just follow me here. Bending the right leg, lifting the chest, the left leg is behind us. You can stay lifted through the chest. You can fold forwards a little bit, maybe onto the forearms. If your hands are free and available to move, you might actually walk your hands away, bringing length into your arms, bringing length into your spine, and maybe letting your chest get heavier and heavier. Relaxing through the shoulders. Let your head get heavier too. Just one more breath before you start to make the journey back, especially if you did walk your hands away. But lift your chest again. Push yourself back into tabletop. Give your hips a little bit of a sway side to side. And then your left leg can start to slide forwards. Pigeon. Lifting up through the chest. Stay here. Or start to fold forwards. Relaxing a little bit here through the upper body, or starting to walk your hands further and further away. Maybe taking the bend out of the elbows. Maybe no longer able to hold your chest up. Let everything get heavy. One more breath, and then start to find your way back up. Planting the hands, ending up in tabletop again. Maybe a little sway through the hips. Crossing your ankles though, and then sitting down when you're ready. With our legs out in front. We can start with our knees nice and bent, the spine nice and long, and then maybe you can lean forwards a little bit. You can hold your legs somewhere. You might even wrap your arms underneath your legs. But leaning forwards a little bit if it feels good, trying to lift the upper body off of the low back though. So anytime you need to reset, you can. If you want to find some extra length through the legs, you can do that too. You might point your toes up, maybe your knees stay bent. Lift the upper body off of the lower body though, and then maybe folding forwards. Maybe your hands touch the ground beside your legs and just start to walk towards the feet and past the feet. And just end up somewhere where maybe you've taken the bend out of the elbows. Let your head get a little heavier. Maybe you're still pointing your toes up. Maybe your knees are still bent. Take one more breath, and then use an inhale. Walk your hands back in, lift your chest back up, bend your knees. You can give them a hug or a squeeze, maybe a nice rock side to side. And then we're gonna just stay seated here. Bring our feet out wider. Keep our knees bent. Tuck your elbows in between your knees or your legs. Maybe your hands stay on your arms, your shoulders, maybe your chest. Maybe your hands come to your sides, palms facing out. Tucking the elbows back in for our full chicken wing shoulder opener. You can lean forwards a little bit here. You can let your head be heavy. If your hands are on your sides, your palms are facing out. Maybe you can close your eyes. What does your low back feel here? What does your upper back feel here? We're going to very slowly start to bring our elbows out from between the legs. You can take a little shoulder roll if you would like. Start to widen the legs maybe a little bit more, pointing the toes up, lengthening through the spine again, trying to lift the upper body off of the lower body, pointing the toes up. Stay sitting nice and tall, or you can go for your tip forwards. Maybe it's a very small tip forwards. Maybe it's a little bit further. But if your hands are free and available to walk away from you, you can start to walk them away. Trying to take the bend out of the elbows, maybe. Letting the head get heavy, the chest get heavy. One more breath before you start to make your journey back up. Hands back in, all the way to your legs. You can help your legs come back together. Give them a nice squeeze, a rock side to side. And then we're gonna lay down on our backs. So find your way down onto your back. You might bring your knees to the chest or keep your feet on the ground. But if you want to add a bit of a sway side to side, you can add that in. Give your low back a bit of a massage as you rock side to side. And let's keep our left knee, but let the right leg go. You can keep your right foot planted or send your leg out long, but we're just going to let the left knee kind of tip out to the side a little bit. You can hold your left knee, or you could start to hold your foot, maybe the outer edge of your foot, maybe your big toe, but try to shine the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. Let your knee be out to the side, your half happy baby, or reclined lizard. Or just be switching sides. So let your leg come back in slowly. Maybe bring your right knee to the chest so you can hug both of your knees. Rock it out a little. Let your left leg go. Keep the right knee, but maybe letting it tip out to the side a little bit. Maybe starting to reach for the foot, trying to shine the sole of your foot, the bottom of your foot up above you. And then slowly, slowly starting to bring your right leg back in. Maybe the left one too. You can hug both of your knees to your chest again. Maybe taking a nice rock side to side. If you have your feet lifted up though, you can start to bring them down to the ground. We're just going to turn our chin over towards the left shoulder. Now you can just turn the head over a little, or you could lift the head and try to rest on your ear. Turn your head as much to the left as you can, so that maybe you feel some love through the neck, maybe the chest. You're going to slowly start to roll your head, your chin back up, or pick it up if you need. And as you roll your chin to the other side, you might lift your head a little more. Turn your head to the right. Breathe. Do you feel a stretch through your neck? Slowly starting to roll your head back up, resting on the back of your head. Now options here. You could, to stretch the back of the neck, use your hands, lift your chin towards your collarbone. You could find plow, bringing your knees to your chest, lifting the hips, the low back up, and trying to bring your feet to the ground, past your head, all to feel the length through the back of your neck. If you did find your way into plow, very slow, start to bring your hips down and eventually your legs. You might want to hug your knees to your chest though and take a little sway side to side. When you feel good to bring your feet down, you can bring them down. If you are holding your head up with your hands, you can gently rest your head back down as well. Any sways of the knees that feel good, you can take them. They might get a little bigger, or they might stay nice and small. And then eventually slowing down any sway of the knees. If you'd like to send your legs out long, your feet out wide. Whatever Shavasana is going to look like for you today, you can find your way there. You can stay for as long as you have time for. Notice the sensations flowing throughout you. Find some stillness. And thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, namaste.